Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Tina Bangma and I'm the creative projects designer for Michaels. Today we're making the beaded butterfly art. If you have any questions today, add them to the Q&A question, and Lindsay, who is our moderator, will let me know actually what the questions are so I can answer them for you. And now we're going to get on to the supplies, Lindsay, so can you put the overhead? This is what we're going to make today. Now, I am going to warn you that the beads here, I did not put in the instructions. So we are going to use the ones that are right here that are in the supply list. So what you will need today is the beaded round beads, these assorted round beads. You will need some yarn pom-poms, some Chenille stems, craft paint. If you do not have black craft paint, that is fine. You can use any color that you would like to make your butterfly personalized. You will need some glue, a paintbrush, a pencil, scissors. Make sure that you had mom or dad print out the template that you can find on our website. And you will need a piece of cardboard, poster board. And now what we're going to do is you're going to take the printed template and you're going to cut out the template. And like I said, you can use any paint color that you would like if you don't have it, or you can just leave it white. You could possibly use markers if you have markers on hand and make it any way that you would like. It's your butterfly and you can personalize it. So now we're just cutting this out. Also, we just opened up our Camp Creatology signage classes. And you can look at those Camp Creatology classes at michaels.com under classes. And the classes are running from June 20th through July 15th. And I am going to be teaching 2 of those classes. So if you'd like to join us or join me, sign up for those classes. The one class is on the 27th of June, and that one is for a paper woven turtle. And then the one on the 15th of July, which is the last day of the camp, is the Kingdom Crest. So now that we've cut out our butterfly template, you're going to take your poster board, you're going to fold the poster board in half, and then you're going to take your pencil or pen and you are going to put the edge of the flat butterfly to the folded seam, and you're going to trace that butterfly template. Whoops, make sure you draw on the poster board and not the template. So now gently lift up the template to make sure that you have all of your lines. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take this folded edge and you're going to cut out your butterfly out of the cardboard or poster board. This would also be great to make in different sizes if you'd like, for when you have your friends over during the summer, and you can use cardboard that you might have laying around the house from cereal boxes or anything like that that you can recycle. You could also use any type of decorations that you want on it. And if you need help cutting this out, you can always ask mom or dad. Okay, so now we have your butterfly. So now what we're going to do with this butterfly is we're going to take any color paint. I'm going to be using the black paint, but like I said, you can use any paint, or you can use markers if you want to color in it. So what you're going to do is you're going to paint your butterfly. And the reason why we're painting it first is so it can dry. We can let it dry while we're threading the beads onto the chenille stems. And it won't take long because this poster board is so thin. It will curl up when you, as you can kind of see here, it has curled up a little bit because you're putting the paint, which is wet, onto the poster board. But once we get the beads on, it will be fine. And what you could do with this is you could also, if you had different color paints, you could add some color to this. Once it's dry, you could add a little bit more. You could do stripes, you could do dots, however you want to make your butterfly. You could make it your personalized butterfly. And yes, you will get paint on your hands, or you'll get paint on your table, but you can just take it off with baby wipes or a wet paper towel. Okay, so now that we have the butterfly painted, I am going to set this aside so it can dry while we are making or threading, I should say. Now, what I'm using here is what's called our paint palette paper, which is great for kids to use because then they can just throw that piece away. Like I said, you will get paint, or at least I always get paint on me. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our beads. You can put your beads in a little container if you'd like, so they don't roll all over the table. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the chenille stems. And with that, what we're going to do is you're going to take the chenille stem, and you can see there's a hole in it. You're going to take the stem and bead it through, thread it through. And what I like to do is I like to do like a large bead, then a small bead, maybe a couple small beads. And you can make it any way you would like. This is your creation. And you're just going to keep threading, because what we're going to do is right now we are making the outline of this butterfly. And so we're going to go around and we will do this all the way around while the painted butterfly is drying. And remember, when you're done with this project, make sure that you have a parent take a picture of your photo and tag it with hashtag Michael's Kids Club, because I would like to see what everyone has made. So what are some of y'all's favorite colors that y'all are going to use for your butterfly today? And remember, any of the questions can go in the Q&A portion of the webinar. And so now I'm just threading it down to, I'm leaving about this much of it. So it's about 1/4 of an inch or so. I'm leaving that to the end and I'm going to bend it. So when I'm pushing those on, it doesn't go flying off of the end, because that has happened before. And you can make these with any type of beads that have any type of jewelry beads. You can make smaller butterflies. You could do any type of shape. It doesn't have to be a butterfly, but this is to give you an idea of what to make. Butterflies these days are so popular and trendy, and they're so pretty this time of year too. What would be one of y'all's favorite butterflies? Mine happens to be the monarch.
Could you use regular pony beads or perler beads, the melty beads? Will they fit on the chenille stem?
Yes, they will. The perler beads will, the smaller ones, not the larger ones. And the larger ones would work as well. I think they're called the bigs. Those will work. They just won't be, they'll be loose on the chenille stem as well as the pony beads. But you can still use them. Did anybody have a favorite butterfly out there?
No answers yet.
No answers. Okay. What about their favorite color of butterfly?
Not that either. Y'all let us know what color you're using.
Okay, so we're getting close to the end here. And what I'm going to do is when you get to the end of it, you're going to take, because you should be, my butterfly is dry, but it is hotter here and humid here, so that's probably why it dries so quickly.
Okay, Chloe said, I like the clear butterfly.
Those are pretty cool, Chloe. Okay, so now that we've got one of the chenille stems with the beads on it, you're going to take this and I'm going to start it right here and just bend it around. First, bend back both ends. So when you're trying to bend it, they don't go flying off of the chenille stem. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and just bend it to the shape. It's one good thing about the chenille stems. They bend easily and stay in their shape. and you're going to bend it to the outside shape of the butterfly. So it should look like that. So now what we're going to do is we're not going to glue it down yet. We're going to glue all of this down at the end. So you can just leave it to dry. So what we're going to do here is, as you can see here, depending on what size beads you have, you may not go all the way to the end of it or to the bottom part of the butterfly's wings. So what you're going to do is you're going to take another chenille stem and you're going to take that bend off. You're going to straighten that bend of the chenille stem, and then you're going to push another chenille stem into that same bead without poking yourself like I just did. So be careful, or have an adult do it. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to start beading this end. And like I said, the reason why we're not gluing it down is because you're going to be moving all of these beads for this side of the butterfly. And like I said, some of you, your butterfly may not be completely dry. So we want to wait until your butterfly is completely dry. So now what I'm going to do is continue beading. You could use wood beads for this. And then you could paint them, or you could paint the beads yourself if you wanted to. That would be kind of cool. You could make it with any, you can make any type of like your favorite school colors. You could do that. And I'm having trouble here, so bear with me. Okay, so then you're going to want to thread that first bead onto both this chenille stem and then the new chenille stem. And then you're going to continue. And as you can see, my chenille stem is pretty much shaped to the way it stayed from when I was forming it around the outside. And now you're just going to continue with these. You could even do this if you didn't have beads. You could use, if you had different colored chenille stems, you could twist the chenille stems and use that instead of the beads. You could even use pieces of paper that are made into little balls, and you could just glue those to the outside of it, of the butterfly. Or if you didn't want to have all beads around the side, there's just so many possibilities with this project that you could design and make it your own. And like I said, we have coming up in June, next month, our Camp Creatology, which we have classes. We've got where we're making, like I said, the paper woven turtle. We've got some dragons. I'm trying to think what else we had. Unicorns, space. Can you help me out, Lindsay? I can't remember what the other ones were.
Sure. So the first week is everything forest themed. And then the second week is ocean. And then the third week we go up into space. And then the fourth week is all fantasy themed. So each week is different. And there are 3 projects each week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So yep, you can sign up for those classes at michaels.com/Camp Creatology. And then just keep in mind our regular kids club classes that we have each week too.
Yes, that we do. And also the one great thing about this Camp Creatology for this year is we are going to use our craft case that has supplies in it that we used for all the classes. So one craft case will supply you for all of our Camp Creatology classes this year. We are having some upcycle ones, so you can, I know there is an octopus that I made that is out of newspaper. And then we also have some fantasy crests that you can make a shield out of an old, I think I made it out of an old or a used cereal box. So there's so many things that you can do during this time while you're out of school and having fun with your family and friends. So please look at that and sign up for these classes. And don't forget, we also have other classes during the week. You can do, we're going to have some make and takes in the store as well. Okay, so now I'm going to bend. I got a little bit further on this because I don't know how far it's going to or where it's going to end. So I'm going to bend this. Then I'm going to get my dried butterfly. And outline it again. So here where I have to make the bend, it looks like I have to make the bend like right here. So what you're going to do is just take that and bend it. You will see some of the chenille stem, which is fine. And then keep this here. And then continue. Let me get my hands out of the way. Continue to just bending your butterfly. Oh, look, it stopped right at the end. So that's good. Because what we're going to do is then we'll glue here so it will cover up this piece of chenille stem. So we'll glue that on once we are done with this side, or with the other side. So keep this off to the side. That's going to be the right side of the butterfly. So now we're going to take another chenille stem and we're going to continue with beading. So what are some of the activities that y'all are going to be doing over the summer now that summer's almost here for everybody and school should be out soon? I know it is here this week and next week in Texas where we are at. How about the rest of y'all? Watch off, it's getting in the way. So I'm assuming everybody painted their butterfly black, or did we have any colors like pink or blue, maybe purple? Or for the clear one, you could have just stuck with the white and then it could have been a little bit clear.
So Lindsay commented that they don't get out of school until the middle of June in New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Texas seems to be a little bit earlier.
And she painted it pink.
Ooh, pink is my favorite color, as you can tell by my nails. Have you like dark pink or light pink?
Dark pink.
Dark pink. Nice. And you can tell I still had paint on my fingers when I was pouring the beads because this bead has black paint on it. Are there any other crafts that y'all are going to be doing this summer? Besides, of course, signing up for the Camp Creatology classes. And also when you sign up for the Camp Creatology classes, we do have where you can buy the supplies online in a bundle. And so they will come to you.
And you can also tell us if there's any specific types of projects or crafts that you're interested in seeing videos and being able to craft along with us. So let us know those as well.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay. Okay, so now I have the third beaded chenille stem. So I'm going to take another one. And I'm going to take this one and put a bead on it. And then put the two stems together and try to get them. You might have to have a parent to do this for you. As I say it, as I can't get it in there. And you can always find beads that have a little bit larger hole. Some of them do have larger holes in it, so you may have to just switch the bead if you want.
So Lindsay responded, painting on wood projects.
Ooh, that would be fun. Especially going out, if you're going out on vacations this summer and you happen to be like out in the woods, you can pick up some wood pieces or even leaves out there and excuse me, paint on them and use that as your background. And also it's like a souvenir from when you were at wherever you went. And yes, I am having trouble with this today. There we go. Okay. Yes, wood projects, those are fun. We do have wood pieces that you can have your parents get at Michael's, and you can use those. And you can use paint on them. You could even use markers. There's all possibilities of them. You could even make, I know my grandson has made with some of our wood pieces that we have. He's made like a little rocket ship out of it. And we do have some in the kids section. We have some class or kits that you can make, Creatology kits that you can make. Little, we've got plaster ones. I believe we've got some wood ones too. But like Lindsay said, the camp this year has a lot of fun stuff with the space, the fantasy, the forest, underwater. So we've got all types of things this year. It's going to be fun. So I hope I get to see some of y'all again. And the reason why we put the beads in the bucket is so they don't go bouncing around and fall over the floor. Because then either your little siblings or your pets will eat them up. What kind of beads are some of y'all using today? Are y'all using the ones that like I'm using, or are you using different colors?
Juliana said she's using pony beads.
Ooh, what color pony beads, Juliana? So now that I'm at the end of the chenille stem, I'm going to bend it over so they don't go off. And so now I'm going to take this side and form it around my dried butterfly outline. I'm going to outline my butterfly. And again, wherever the bend is, you will just bend the chenille, the beaded chenille stem.
And Juliana answered pony beads of all colors and styles.
Ooh, how pretty. On the black butterfly, that would be pretty. Okay, so now this one did line up as well to the bottom of it, so that's good. So now I'm going to set this to the side. And now what we're going to do is we are going to make these little pieces. This is where you're going to need your scissors. So make sure that you have your scissors out. And what we're going to do is we're going to bead. Now what I did was, like I said, I did not, that was my fault. I did not put in the supply list these beads. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the solid colored beads that we have in the supply list to do that. But you can make it any way that you would like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit more of these beads in here. I'm going to take a chenille stem and I'm going to bead. I'm going to take one size bead for these, but you can do any size that you want. So the first one is going to go right here, and it's going to be, so it will be right here. it's going to be 3 beads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend the end and then bend here. So I know those are my first 3. I'm going to need to make 4 sets of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now on this same stem, so it's easier to work with, so you don't have to work with little pieces of the chenille stem. And then just bend again, kind of like this. Just all you're doing here is just holding it in place so they don't go flying off of it. And you can do any color combination that you want to personalize your own butterfly. And when you're done with this butterfly, you can set this up on a, you can set it up on a, up against the, like hang it on your wall. You could hang it onto your refrigerator, or you could give it to your best friend. What are y'all going to, or where are y'all going to hang, or who are you going to give this butterfly to? Okay, so now I have the 4 of the 3 beads done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut. Let's see if you can see this. I'm going to cut it right, the chenille stem right at the edge of that last bead. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that bead so it doesn't, I'm going to hold that bead and then I'm going to straighten out the bead strip. And then I'm going to cut the rest of them. So your cut beads should look like this. And you can continue with the other 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay them here and they will roll. I'm going to lay them in the 4 areas where they're going to go, so I have an idea of where they're at. So then you're going to take the rest of that chenille stem and you're going to do 4 beads. And again, any pattern, any color you want, you can do. So this one's going to have 4. And you need to make 2 of these. And you'll be able to get them on this one piece. Well, depending on the size of beads that you had. And again, you don't have to do 4. You can do however many you want on that, on this one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here. Cut the ends off. And then I'm going to cut them again. And these will go right here. Now I'm going to take another chenille stem, but again, it depends on what size beads you're using. And I'm going to make 2 more 4s. Let's go 5s. You can do 2 to 4. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 to 4. Sorry, you can do 4 to 5. I'm going to do 5. And I'm going to do a different pattern on this one. And like I said, you can make any pattern that you want. And you can use any chenille stems too. You don't have to use the white. Okay, so there's one. Now I need to make another one. I went ahead and did 5. Okay, so now we have the 2 5 pieces. Again, push these. We're just going to push these all the way to the end. And what you can do here is you can stand it up. Can't really see it. You can stand it up and get it all the way to the end. Or you can use your finger. And then I'm going to cut this part. And push this one all the way to the end as well. Just don't go where it's almost going to go flying off. That happened to me when I was first making this. And I had beads flying everywhere. Okay, so those are up there. And see, they do go rolling everywhere. So these 2 are going to be here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make 6 to 8 beads on one strand, and we're going to make 4 6 to 8 bead strands. I'm going to use the smaller ones on this one, but again, it's however you would like. Anybody else out there using pony beads or any other type of beads for this project? Okay, so I did 7 on that one. So now I need to make 3 more of these. And don't forget that when you have your project done, have an adult take photos of it or pictures of it and tag it with the hashtag Michael's Kids Club. Because we like to see what y'all have come up with. Okay, it looks like I can only get 1 more on this strand. If you have to go to another chenille stem, that's totally fine. Okay. So I have 3 on this one. Before I cut them, I'm going to go ahead and take another chenille stem and make my final one. And thank you for spending your afternoon with me today, making this beaded butterfly. Okay, so I have my last one, and I'm going to put that to the end. And then cut it off. And then do the same with the rest of these. Okay. So then 2 of these are going to go here. These 2 are going to go here. So now I need to make these V's down here. And those have 6. Again, you can do 6, 7, however many you want, but I'm going to go ahead and do 6 strands of 4. So I'm going to take my Chenille stem, and just keep threading. What would be really cute is if you'd made several of these and made smaller ones of these. And then what you could do is you could make it back to back. You could paint the back black, and then you could repeat it on the other side, and then you can turn it into a sun catcher or a mobile in your room. That would be pretty. So what are some ideas that y'all are going to want to do with your beaded butterfly?
I like that idea of the mobile. That would be pretty.
It would, especially if you did it, you know, with the colors of your room or your favorite colors. There's just so many possibilities with this little butterfly that you could do.
Chloe said she's going to give it to her mom.
Oh, how sweet. And what color did you paint the butterfly, Chloe?
She painted it black.
Very pretty. And I bet Mom will hang it on the refrigerator for everybody to see as well. Because I know that's what I do when my grandson gives me stuff, or even when my kids were younger, I would put everything on the refrigerator. You can always add, like I said, if you're going to put it on the refrigerator, you can get have Mom or Dad get some magnets, and they can glue the magnets to the back, and you can put it on the refrigerator. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cut your strands. Okay, so then these, whoops. If it falls off, you can just put it right back on. Okay, so now what you're going to do is I'm going to kind of clean up my mess here. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and I'm going to take my beads off. As you can see, it did curl up and I do have some of the fuzzies from the chenille stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently roll my butterfly so I can get it to somewhat stay flat. Now what you could do is you could take, now it went the other way. What you could do is you could have, if you have some masking tape, you could kind of tape it down to the table to hold it still a little bit and to hold it in place. So now I'm going to take my glue and what you can do is you can use your glue here or you can have a parent use a hot glue gun if you want to have it dry quicker. You could have them do that. I'm going to use this glue and then I'm going to take I'm just guiding the glue along the edge of the butterfly. I'm putting quite a bit on there because it is such a long piece. And I only did around the first top part for now, because this bottom part is going to go everywhere when I'm trying to glue it down. And I don't want the glue to get in it and then it gets stuck somewhere else. So now what you're going to do is you're going to line it up. You're going to line it up. And you may need to hold it for a little bit. Or like me, it does just not want to stay down. You can tape it. If you do have some masking tape, you might want to lightly tape it. So just hold it down for a little bit for it to stick, or you can put something on top of it to stay. That's why we did this at the end, so you can have it stay in one place. And if you do get glue on your hands like I just did, just take some baby wipes if you have some, or a wet paper towel will work. Okay, so now that I have that there, I am going to take my glue and go around the outside of it. And just press it down. You may have to have an adult to help you with this, depending on which glue you have. Quick drying glue is always the best. Or like I said, if you have, a parent that can hot glue it down for you, that will work as well. Okay, so there's one side. I know I don't have these connected, but these are going to cover it. The pom-poms are going to cover it, so you should not be able to see those. So what I'm going to do now that I have this side going, before I put this band around it, I'm going to go ahead and decorate the inside so I don't have to move so much of that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3 pieces, glue it right here, and just set that in the glue. And then I'm going to take another 3 piece down here. Or again, whatever piece you want. Let me move this up into the camera a little bit better. There you go. And then you're going to take one of these. And glue here. And then you're going to take another one here. And before you glue it down, check to make sure that they do fit in there. It would help if I had the longer one, wouldn't it? There we go. And you're going to do that one off at an angle. And when you're done with this, you're going to let this sit for a couple hours so it will dry. And then what you're going to do is take one right here, put it there. And then you're going to take these 2 smaller ones and make a V. If you have too much glue and you're using the clear, it will dry clear. And even if you do have glue on there that you can see, what you can do is you can go back with the color of paint and you can paint over that clear blue glue, not blue, the clear glue. Okay, so there's one side done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to outline this butterfly. I thought I had a new glue. I guess I didn't. Hopefully I have enough to finish this class. Remember, just do the top part first. Okay. And the reason why we formed it first, because it's easier for you when you have the glue down, so you don't have to try to pick it up and move it around. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold it down. So I've got it glued, as you can see here, I've got it glued, and I'm just going to hold it down for a little bit. Oh, we're running out on time. Or how are we doing, Lindsay?
It's 1 minute till 3, so that's okay.
Okay. Hopefully everybody isn't on a time crunch today. We should be done in the next 5 minutes. It's just the glue waiting for. Okay, so now that I have that done, it looks like it just moved, it did. So now what we're going to do is glue this bottom part. And hold that into position. Okay, so now we're going to continue You're going to do the same positioning of the beads as we did on the other side. And did anybody have any questions before we're almost done?
I don't see any right now.
Okay, so now we're going to finish up with these. And again, I put that one on the wrong one again. It's one good thing about with this, you can just pick it up and move it to the other spot. And like I said, if you've got glue showing, you can just paint it the color with your paint. And again, I'm just going to leave this here for it to dry. And if it has moved, you can put tape down to hold it lightly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these pom-poms, and you can take any pom-poms. These are our new yarn pom-poms. You can kind of see they're almost pretty much just cut yarn. You're going to put a lot of glue on it, and you're going to stick them down. And you can get about 5 on your, depending on the size of pom-pom. And for this one, this bottom one, since I'm having problems with this one bead not wanting to stay, put the pom-pom there to hold it in place. And then just tuck in. If you have any of the chenille stem, just tuck them up underneath your butterfly. And there is your finished butterfly. Again, we're having our Camp Creatology starting June 20th and ending on July 15th. I will be teaching the paper woven turtle, so you can learn how to do some paper weaving with me. That will be on June 27th. And then I'm also going to be making the Kingdom crests out of fun foam from the craft case that we have for this class or for the camp, and that will be on July 15th. Thank you for joining this class, and take some pictures and have one of your parents do the tag it with hashtag Michael's Kids Club. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.